They didn't walk away because you weren't enough. They walked away because they never truly saw what you were capable of becoming. They mistook your love for weakness, your patience for permission, and your silence for surrender. But deep down, you knew something they didn't, that your silence wasn't the end. It was the beginning of your transformation. Because the truth is, you weren't built to chase people who can't see your worth. You were built to rise. Sometimes the people we think we can't live without are the very ones holding us back from becoming who we were meant to be. They thought you'd break after they left. They thought you'd be watching, waiting, hoping. They had no idea you were about to become unforgettable. Not with revenge, not with rage, but with quiet, steady, relentless self-mastery. Before we get into how to do that, let me tell you a story. There was once a girl who gave everything she had to a man who only gave her pieces. She loved him with her whole heart, encouraged his dreams, forgave his mistakes, and showed up for him even when she was empty. She gave, and gave, and gave a broken bar until there was almost nothing left. And then, just like that, he left. No closure, no explanation. He just moved and quickly, publicly, and like she never existed. She spent the first month in silence, numb, scrolling through photos of him with someone new, comparing herself, wondering if she was ever enough. She stopped answering calls. She skipped meals. She cried at the sound of his name. But then something shifted. One morning, she sat on her bedroom floor, surrounded by silence and shattered illusions, and she whispered to herself, "This pain will not define me, it will refine me." She started small, a walk every morning, a journal entry every night. She read books about healing and discipline. She joined a gym, and not for attention, but for resilience. She went to therapy and confronted her wounds. She learned to breathe again. Months passed, her glow returned, but it wasn't just physical. It was in her eyes, her walk, her voice. She had found something more powerful than love. She found herself. One day, she received a message. A simple, "Hey, I saw your post. You look amazing. I miss us." But she didn't reply. Not because she hated him, but because she had evolved past the version of herself who would have said yes. He didn't just lose her. He lost the only version of her who would have tolerated less than she deserved. She had become unforgettable, and he knew it. That's not just her story. That can be yours, because becoming the one they regret letting go doesn't begin with changing for them. It begins with becoming for you. Start by building a life that feels so full, their absence becomes irrelevant. Reclaim your mornings. Make your space a reflection of your peace. Make your routine sacred, as something you own, something you protect. You don't need a crowd to feel whole. Wholeness begins in silence, in structure, in small, consistent acts of self-respect. Start showing up for yourself the way you showed up for them. Wake up early, move your body, feed your mind. Let your goals pull you forward when your emotions want to pull you back. Your power isn't in reacting, it's in responding with silence and rising with intention. They expected to hear from you. They expected a breakdown. Instead, give them your absence and your progress. They won't know what to do with that. Next, stop looking back. Stop checking their page. Stop asking why they moved on so easily. The truth? They were never as deep as you. Not in heart, not in intention, not in growth. You need to remember, your sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's your power. Your loyalty wasn't a mistake. It was a reflection of your depth. But now, it's time to protect that depth. You no longer water deserts. You no longer explain your worth to people who treat it like a debate. You no longer offer access to those who mishandled the gift of you. Your time is sacred. Your energy is expensive. And from now on, you only invest in what returns peace. Let your pain have a purpose. Don't just survive, evolve. Turn your experience into wisdom. Help others who feel like you once did. Write, speak, teach. Let your scars be the compass for someone else's healing. You don't need to tell them you're over them. You don't need to show them you've grown. Just grow. Just glow. Just go. Upgrade everything in your space, your routine, your habits, and do it quietly. Let your absence scream louder than your presence ever could. People remember the ones who changed in silence. They remember the ones who disappeared and came back different. They remember the ones they couldn't replace you because there is no replacement for someone who becomes whole on their own. Build a circle of people who see your value before you prove it. People who don't confuse your softness with weakness. People who add peace, not chaos. Surround yourself with those who understand that healing isn't a trend, it's a way of life. You're not building for attention, you're building for legacy. You're not posting for likes, you're living for fulfillment. And finally, stop waiting for closure. Stop refreshing your inbox. Stop hoping for a message. You don't need their words to move on. You need your decision. Let your peace be your closure. Let your joy be your goodbye. Let your growth be the full stop at the end of the story. You are not the person they left. You are the person they will never be able to forget, because you rose, because you glowed, because you grew, and because when they look back they won't see the one who begged. They'll see the one who became everything they could have had, a broken bar but will never touch again. Let them regret you. Just keep becoming.